as you mentioned, my name is Alice. I'm a product designer by trade, but now with Claude, I don't know if the name for designers with Claude and Tops. I work for meetup on the bottleneck startup over in Windsor, and I'm currently designing experiences used by 80,000 businesses across Australia. And I'm fortunate enough to be here with my team, and fortunate enough to be in what I consider one of the most AI-forward teams I've ever met. And I just say, there's no day where I walk into work, and there's no shortage of ideas and tools that people are really hands-on using AI. So I'm fortunate to have them all here as well. My colleagues probably know me as a serial vibe coder, which means I'm community work with Claude Terminal Open. I'm Claude coding at cafes in the weekends. Probably look at me like, what are you doing? And in my Japan trip at the start of the year, there was a week where I was just bringing my laptop and writing Claude code on my phone. But I wasn't always like this. Back when I was studying computer science in uni, I hated coding. Every assignment made me want to cry. And then when I failed 2 computer science subjects, I actually went home crying to my parents, my Asian parents. And being like, all I wanted to do was build software and apps that I love, but I just don't understand why it's so hard. Those 2 final years, I failed 2 subjects and gave up the dream. And you can see in the Then something really happened. Fast forward to 4 years later, 2026. I revived my GitHub and my terminal, and I'm suddenly writing code again. This year alone, I've pushed code to production almost 400 times, and it's all thanks to this one only thing that keeps me going. Now, when people think of designers using AI, you like to think of your sexy-looking websites, your rainbow gradients, your flashy effects, your 3D animations, or good boss. If that's what you came here for, to learn how to build a website like that, unfortunately, that's not what this talk is about. Because that's not what a lot of UX UI designers do. Design isn't just about making things pretty or making the cause of effect. It's about solving real user and business problems. That's what I'll be done today. I'll be sharing a case study about how my company, ideate, has been using Claude to build products and ship our costs. First, a little bit more about ideate. We're a financial services platform that lets businesses earn rewards points on their businesses. Those reward points can be redeemed for 16 airline and hotel partners like Cathay, Virgin, Qantas, and redeemed flights for your next holiday. One of the biggest challenges of a platform like ours is explaining our value proposition to new customers and motivating people to redeem their rewards for rewards. Traditionally, our product development process looks a little bit like this. So a designer would start off by drawing paper wireframes using pen paper, and then transferring it to a design software like Figma, and then slowly increasing the fidelity bit by bit until it reaches a production-ready design and moving on to products. And all this will be done manually. Often it would take several weeks, if not months, for an idea to a prototype into. But now with Claude, we're able to achieve this so much more faster. Our process would now start with our manager, using Claude Design or Claude Code to produce the first draft of an idea. And then my job as a designer would be to take that idea, iterate and polish until we have a version that can happen. Finally, we have that final concept, we'll build this final version of Claude, and that's what we hand off to our developers. So, what is the setup like? If you're wanting to use Claude for designing your code, this is my setup. First, you have Claude, obviously. You have a code editor, like VS Code, but other cursors, lines, depending on what you're familiar with. GitHub to manage your code as your code base gets larger and you want more access and control over which versions you want access. And finally, that's our form of deploying code, so you're not sending people a link to localhost. Our first prototype can be one of the ideas we work with. It's called what's called Tracker. It's a tool for users, tool to motivate users to do problems. an off-production environment set up where PMs and designers can just props the brief and product requirements document into Claude and get it to the people self code. Then I wanted to see how creative we get the page. Our head of design and our head of product are always telling us to make how you want it. Make us look like we want to look like $1 billion platform. And lucky for us, this is around the time that Claude Design just came out, so I went ham. I kind of went ham with focus for things. So I got Claude Design to design me some wide variations. And as you can see here, it not only came up with one, but it came up with 4 different directions that we can set up, ranging from structure to orchestra. So yeah, all looks good, right? Design looks awesome. That's until we got around to our first round of business. We showed the prototype concept to register stakeholders around our business. Yeah. Got some feedback. And the issue was nobody understood what this was. So essentially, we got the design completely. As a last resort, I also asked Claude what they thought of the design, and feedback, as you can see, is pretty good. So Claude was telling me, yes, it's a real risk of people not using it. You're starting 10 yards behind the line, and but people will use it and will get heaps of angry customers. So yeah, quite honestly, I was quite surprised. It felt almost diabolical that we've been prototyping for so many days, and now it decides to tell me that everything we just did is entirely wrong. That's why you have to combine yourself. Claude is just an AI. It's not a replacement for your human judgment or your human thinking. It'll keep treating you like you're correct, like you're its master, and it has to please you until you tell it to assist. And you can do so by constantly asking it to explain the reasoning behind the decision. How did you come to this? Why did you design it this way? Explain this to me. You can also ask it to play devil's advocate and tell you what are the risks if we do it this way. If you learn to ask good questions, you only get good answers. After setting our final design with ideate, ahead of our developers with Claude prototype. Not only has Claude helped us with prototyping faster, it's also helped us add these extra moments of delight to our product. Previously, where a designer had to beg for a product manager, can we make these cool animations? No. Can we have any illustrations? No. Now designers can build this into the prototype directly. So it's curious here who is a resident and pure engineer or developer, or you identify yourself. Yes, do you read all your designer or your product manager's documentation? Lol. Honest answers only. Yeah, nobody reads. When you hand developers the documentation, nobody is going to read it. But when you hand developers a piece of code, you're handing them a source of truth in their own language. So to summarize what we've seen here, with Claude, we've been able to explore more directions and ideas in our designs. We've been able to critique more thoroughly. AI can be a very devil's advocate if you know what questions to ask. And we've been able to make handoff more painless. When you can whip up a prototype this fast, you save dozens of meetings and thousands of words of documentation needed to communicate with ideas. I think personally one of the most exciting things about this era is that nobody is confined to the traditional roles anymore. We're seeing product managers who can now prototype. Designers are now shipping code across our business. We have marketers, sales reps, HR leaders, all using AI to build the solutions they wish. So one of the tools that we built throughout my organization, our product managers have given us this copy tool as a roadmap planner for all of us. Visualize the roadmap. And one of our automation leaders, shout out to you, Jim, recently built a tool for the company called the Kit, which lets anyone in the company spin up any term. A favorite tool that I built for myself is called the Design System Generator. And basically the story of this is I needed to write 50 pages of design documentation for our design component library. Midway doing that, I gave up and decided to build a tool to help me write this. And it's been a real long journey. Got some lessons that I want to share with like from my pretty much. First is the distribution problem. Up until this point, we've seen all these amazing things that Claude can do. It can design UI, it can generate code, almost production-ready code, say. But one problem remains: how do you get people to care about themselves? Despite building this tool and getting a few users so far, there was at least a few days when my product sat at 0 customers and 0 installs. So to tackle this, I kind of had to get my ass up on social media and start doing the cringy shit that everyone does. My distribution approach involved posting on social channels where my time was hang out, like Reddit, LinkedIn, obviously, Slack community, Reddit groups, sharing consistently on LinkedIn, just posting about it stop. And then once I got a few users, I personally DM'd each one of them, asking them, have you used my plugin? And that is the hard truth that no one knows. Well, it can design you a beautiful interface. It can build you a functional backend. And you could have the most amazing product in the entire world, but no one would know about it if you don't have a distribution system. This is when things like you post online and your online presence starts to shine. When we have all these AI tools like Claude now, it won't be about who makes the best product. It'll be about who has the largest audience. I'll leave with maybe one finishing word to wrap up. If you're still sitting in the room with a little bit of just any little bit of unease about AI, AI isn't here to take our jobs. It's here to close the gap between employee and founder and dream on. Perhaps a lesson for me in 2022 maybe was never about loving